Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. So here I am, just kind of perusing the news online today, and I run across this headline. It says, DOJ to monitor Wisconsin recall election. Now, this was from the Washington Times. I got this off the Drudge Report, so I don't typically read much from the slimes. But anyway, I just thought this was kind of interesting because it says the Justice Department will be monitoring polling activities in Milwaukee during the recall election of Republican Governor Scott Walker on Tuesday, according to a DOJ press release. Now, when I first read this, the first thing that came to mind was the Black Panthers monitoring on behalf of the DOJ. And I'm not kidding you. This is exactly what I envisioned. I envisioned Eric Holder employing a bunch of the new Black Panthers with billy clubs to stand outside of the polling places so people understood what the drill was. So anyway, I'm reading more of it. I'll just read you a little bit of this. This in Washington. The Justice Department announced today that it will monitor elections on June 5th, 2012 in the following jurisdictions to ensure compliance with the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and other federal voting rights statutes. Alameda, Fresno, and Riverside counties, California, I guess now it's not California, Ciobra, I don't know, shit. And Sandoval counties, NM, Shannon County, SD, and the city of Milwaukee. Real quick though, I want to tell you, when I, years ago, a long time ago, probably 12, 13 years ago, I went to the Summerfest in Milwaukee, took the train from Chicago. It was back when I was living in Chicago. Took the train, which, not to interrupt myself, when I talk about Chicago politics, I lived there. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, took the train from Chicago to Milwaukee to go to the Summerfest, purely an entertainment thing. And Summerfest is all kinds of awesome. If you ever get a chance, it's a must do. But anyway, I get off the train. Me and a couple of my buddies, we stop in at this little bar on our way to the City Fest to have or Summerfest to have a beer. And I am not kidding you, and I'm as serious as a heart attack when I say this. We walk in the bar, and I've seen something that I've only seen that, never seen it before or since. There is a Milwaukee City cop sitting at the bar, sitting, on the patron side of the bar. As far as I know, he wasn't working security, but maybe he was working security for the bar. I really don't know. This was just a little neighborhood bar. Anyway, he's got his gun, he's packing his heat, and he's got the badge, the whole 9 yards, head to toe a cop. And I am not shitting you when I tell you that he had a beer, and he was drinking the beer. Maybe that's just a Milwaukee thing. I really don't know. They do brew a lot of beer there, so maybe they just embrace it to that point. And this would have been probably either 1999 or 2000, something like that. Whatever year Christina Aguilera was there, because she was one of the headliners. Her and Sebastian Bach was there, the old frontman from Skid Row. It really was. Oh, Ringo Starr in his all-star band, which was amazing. Anyway, I digress. Let me get back to the point of this whole video. So Eric Holder, the Justice Department, is there in Wisconsin, undoubtedly to make sure that everybody that can gets to vote. In fact, they have a ton of foreign speakers to help people vote. And now I'm sure that there's nobody there verifying that anybody is actually a resident of that state, or hell, a citizen of the country for that matter. So anyway, so here's the thing. If you go down to the bottom of this article, okay, it says, as reported in a previous water cooler post, Obama campaign strategist David Axelrod told reporters on Sunday that an army of lawyers will be in the Badger State to protect the vote during the recall election. Let me translate that. If they cannot assist in the unions and illegal aliens stealing this election and actually recalling Scott Walker, if they cannot pull that off, okay, then the plan B is to sue. They want to recount. They will demand a recount from the second that it is announced that Scott Walker has prevailed. And you know what? Let me know in the comment section if you think I'm right on that, because this is going to be interesting. Listen, the Democrats cannot allow Scott Walker not to go down. Do you realize that he would be the first governor? Now there's 3 of them. I guess he's the 3rd one to ever face a recall. He'd be the 3rd governor to have to face a recall, and he would be the first to win. Every other governor's went down, you know. And if you remember famously, was it Gray Davis that Arnold Schwarzenegger beat in California during his recall? I'm pretty sure, and I don't know who the other governor was. But they can't allow this to happen, because let me tell you, first of all, that would put Wisconsin in play. And they haven't slated, the Democratic Party, the DNC has not slated a ton of money, or has Obama's campaign manager slated a lot of money to be spent in Wisconsin. And if Scott Walker wins this, they may have to spend some money there, and I don't think they really budgeted for that, so they can't allow this to happen. I think they've relied heavily on the the union operatives, and I'm going to do a whole video on how this whole union thing works, because I'm going to tell you something. The unions in the United States of America are nothing more than the brown shirts of 1932, 1933. I'm not kidding you. They literally are the brown shirts for the Democratic Party. They show up, they intimidate, they rig things. You know what, I'm just going to leave that for a whole another video, because I got a lot to say about unions in this country. And I, by the way, I'm a lifetime member of the UTU and have belonged to 5 different unions in my life. So, I'm the union's worst nightmare. I'm a guy with some insider. I know how it all works. So anyway, they're expecting the unions to be able to pull this off. But listen, it ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Let me know if you think it will, but I don't think it's going to. I think Scott Walker is going to breeze through this. Every exit poll so far today has showed him well ahead. So that really puts the Democrats into a real pickle here. And it also shows, by the way, that the populace as a whole are really sick and tired of union thuggery. It shows that they're really sick and tired of, you elect somebody, and then the first thing that the Democrats want to do is recall them. And like I said, remember what I told you. If Scott Walker does prevail, and I believe he will, the first thing that Eric Holder and the long arm of the federal government is going to try to do is demand a recount. And then you wait and see how they don't count those votes. I mean, it'll be Al Franken all over again. And for those of you who don't know, Al Franken, who's the senator from Minnesota, he stole that election. The Democrats stole that election for him. He literally is a fraud. He did not win his Senate seat. Now, he's a senator, and it is what it is, but the facts are the facts, and he flat out stole that election. There ain't no other way to look at it. I mean, and anytime when you got a recount situation, it gets tricky, especially if you've got the DOJ down there, Department of Justice down there, and a slew of their attorneys. See, here's the thing that makes me mad about that. It's my tax dollars, your tax dollars are going to fund what amounts to an election fraud. This is the kind of stuff you expect from Putin's Russia, not from the United States of America. What happened to this hope and change they kept talking about 4 years ago? It wasn't Obama supposed to be a something new, a new kind of president. The whole administration was supposed to be new, refreshing. Come on. If there's any liberals watching this video, in the comment section, I want you to tell me what happened to the hope and change. What happened to the transparency? What happened to the change we can believe in? What happened to all that nonsense, which, by the way, you don't hear them drumming that drum these days, do you? I haven't really, to be honest with you, if somebody was to ask me what is Barack Obama's key slogans this year, I couldn't tell you. I can remember the ones 4 years ago, the hope, and I just rattle them off. Hope and change you can believe in, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what his mantra is this time around. I have no clue. It's all Bush's fault, I guess. We inherited this mess. They put the car in the ditch. I don't know. Help me out. Somebody help me out. Is there in the comment section? Let me know. What is Obama's big drumbeat this year? Because I just can't. Nothing's sticking with me. And if he's got one or two or three, they're not very effective, to say the least. Because I have no clue. So anyway, listen. Just thought you'd be interested in that little report from the Washington Slimes. I have no idea. I've not watched any live news today, so I have no idea what's going on. I do know that the exit polls do seem to have Scott Walker way ahead, which is good. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what Obama does, because I really think that he's going to have Eric Holder down there using our tax money to get the result that they want. And I'm going to tell you right now, if in the end it looks like Scott Walker doesn't prevail, I want a full investigation by Putin. you know how, like, if the United States doesn't like the election outcomes in different countries, we like to come in as a nonpartisan advice. That's what Scott Walker should have demanded. That some other country brought in some kind of observers for the polls. So you'd have the DOJ lawyers there and the union thugs, and then some outside observers from, I don't know, Uganda or someplace. Cuba. I'm sure Fidel Castro would have sent some people over. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And let me know. Tell me, do you think Scott Walker's going to prevail? Because I do. I think he is. Everybody take care. See ya!